So, good evening, everyone. Again, a bright Monday evening. And what better way to make it brighter than to have one of my favorite persons on the show, and that is Deepa Purushottam.
Hello, everyone.
So now, before Deepa starts off, because she loves talking and I love listening, before she starts, I need to tell you a few things why we did this Meet the Mentor series. A lot of you keep asking us, curious questions. What are they like? What is she like as a person? So we thought about it that why not once in a while in between introduce to you all those fantastic mentors, show you the other side of them, right? And also the radical side of them, of course. But we go beyond the screen, we go behind the screen and bring to you the person in front of you as a human, as a lovely person, as a partner, as a guide, as a mentor, and as a friend. So I couldn't think of, as I said, anyone better than to start the series with Deepa. And Deepa Purushottam, let me tell you a little bit about her. She is naturally the first guest for the talk. She is a seasoned radical spiritual mentor and speaker. She has always been driven by an unquenchable curiosity for mystical science, and with a robust 12-year tenure in sales and marketing in the corporate world, which included companies like ICICI Prudential, HDFC Bank, Eli Lilly, she embodies professional prowess too. And she combines that with her spiritual healing. Her fervor for growth led her to master NLP, clinical hypnotherapy, Akashic records, and inner child healing. Also, graphology, numerology, astrology, Reiki, and access bars. She has a whole basket, I tell you. So, guiding radical insight, she unveils the union of energy and mind, inspiring consciousness expansion. Deepa's transformation over 5 years aligned her as an open-minded guide, nurturing spiritual and personal evolution. Her wisdom empowers others to kindle curiosity and self-discovery. Yet, today, we meet her to know more about her personal journey. Right? So now we are going to be in conversation with Deepa. Welcome, Deepa.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much, Aarti.
Right. So we know about Radical. We know a lot about what you have contributed to Radical, but that comes from a spiritual and a professional sphere where we know each other as colleagues also and healers, right? But my first question to you would be, what is your understanding of Radical and why should one practice Radical?
So if I say, Aarti, like, no one today can describe Radical in few words, not even Atman, I believe. Because whenever we have also asked her, what is Radical, there is a long pause and then she starts talking, because we have to really gather words to put in to say what is Radical all about. But if I say my understanding, as you already said in my introduction, that I am a very curious soul who wants to know everything that exists on the world. And being a science student, I have been always inspired by the word energy and logic behind everything. Now, why I got into the journey of spirituality as a whole, if I may share, I can see my screen, everybody is known some or the other way. So today I would share the actual story of mine, that why I got into the field of spirituality, radical hypnotherapy, or blah, 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 whatsoever. So 6 years back in 2017, and before that for a couple of years, my body used to shiver whenever I used to go to temple or some havan or aarti. People used to say Matai or there's some Atma or whatever. People used to start putting tika and asking questions and all. Now, as a science student, I knew that it is not that. That's something that is happening to me. But I had no answer. After some time, I just left going to puja or visiting those places wherein they have havan and so. Because I never wanted to be that center of attraction and people start worshipping me along with the God. But then this episode started increasing so much that even if I would sit in meditation or center myself, my body will just whirl. My husband used to hold me so tight and he also used to move along with me. Then that was the time I was like, no, now I have to find out what is happening to me. One of my neighbor who was already a hypnotherapist and who was a trainer, she told me that all these answers you may get in level 4 and 5 of hypnotherapy. I said, can I do it directly? She said, no, you have to go level wise. And that's how I did my hypnotherapy. But the answers what I got there were again not matching the science what I knew. Then again the curiosity, there has to be something more. And that curiosity took me to each modality to know what exactly was happening to me. And the answer I got in quantum physics. And that quantum physics absolutely gave me the radical gave me the base to the quantum physics, because I'm practicing radical and learning radical since last 5 years. And simultaneously, I have done all the modalities what Aarti has told. People said planets, numbers, and your thought process, and your handwriting, and your chakras, and everything. But other than radical, wherever I had gone, now the question was why radical? So other than radical, wherever I had gone, the people used to bring out or focus more on the victim mindset than the logic, than the real understanding. Graphology, you change the handwriting. Numerology, change the name. Planets, you wear the ring and do some puja, mantras and all. In other modalities, they tell you to other practices to do. Radical was the only modality. My very first meeting with Atman, she told me, where pain in your body? I said, in my ankle, chronic pain since last 20 years. And I was like, why the hell she is asking that? And she made me recite few statements. She asked me few questions. And within those 2-3 minutes, the realization, because the question was, what is it pain like? I said, it's like a thorn. What is like thorn in your life? And something inside me said, you yourself. And that was me, myself was, resisting my own growth, blocking my own growth. And I was not moving ahead in my life. And the moment I realized that, oh my God, I'm carrying, and the pain was gone. And that was such a miraculous thing to happen. Because last 20 years, I have been suffering from sciatica and that ankle pain and all that. And it's like, for a few seconds, few minutes, I was free of that pain. Obviously, it didn't go completely because I had to work a lot on myself. But those few minutes without pain also was like a spark. Then I have to learn it. And that was the time I had yet to do my level 5 of hypnotherapy. The next very morning, I was to go to Bangalore. And before that, I met Atman. And that's how my journey started. That level 5 was just formality for me. I did for the knowledge sake. Everything I have learned for the knowledge. I had never planned to become a healer or a therapist. I do help people out of passion. I don't consider myself as a healer because, as Radical says, it is all about being aware. The moment you realize your own block, your own resistance, rest everything is a story.
Absolutely.
So why
Very well
Radical
said.
and what's Radical? Yeah.
Though you've answered, you naturally led me to my next question, but I'd like to ask you that how has Radical impacted different dimensions of your life? Let's say personal, professional, interpersonal, at home, at work, with family, with children, and with friends or with relatives. How has it impacted your life?
So here I would put it in a different way, Aarti.
Yeah.
That how it has impacted the different dimension of my life. I would say it has impacted the center of everything, that is me. Because we all play so many roles in life: mother, daughter, wife, friend, neighbor, professional, so many roles. And in that process, we somewhere forget who we are actually. And we completely ignore. So the moment focus gets back on yourself, rest everything is okay. So when you say what is the impact on the other dimension, I didn't actually see that. I just saw myself that the moment I became happy, people around me were happy. Now, in terms of happiness, how do you define happiness? So things becomes automatically. Dialogues happens automatically. You don't have to think. You don't have to plan. No, neither your relationship nor how you're going to raise children. Everything falls in place. Before radical, I was like a helicopter mother. The moment I realized that I have to be me, I have to hold my space, people around me will be happy in their space. So where I was all behind my children, homework कर लो, खाना खा लो, ये कर लो, वो करो, home exam उनका नहीं मेरा आता था. All that they started playing their role so beautifully well without my telling them. They used to finish their work, they used to eat their food, they used to manage their life. With my husband as well, I had a very beautiful, the only relationship which I've always cherished in my life is with my husband. So there was nothing which I had to set there. So he would be a wrong example that how radical has impacted. But yes, radical has impacted him indirectly, not between me and him, but him as a person. Because we share a lot, we talk a lot. So whatever he has learned is very indirectly but all about radical, and that has helped him to evolve in his life. My
Right.
mother, she's a, yeah, Adi, you have the next
Continue,
question.
continue,
Yeah.
continue.
So that's what. Once you take your position, rest, everything falls in place.
So that also happens because Deepa, you were in any case a very evolved person, right? Your spiritual levels have been much higher than a lot of, let's say, all of us around. I mean, we are elevating ourselves, but like you said, mandir mein jate the, so you didn't know what was happening till quantum physics explained it to you, right? But at the same time, if you look at it, when I talk about the impact that it has on you or your family or your children or your husband, etc., it would also mean that, incorporating radical in your routine, in your life, personally, right? How did that experience of making radical a way of life uh, become acceptable and totally easy for you, your family, your parents, your in-laws, I mean, everybody around you? How did that happen?
In that case, I would just say one word: my response system got completely refined.
Right.
Because as we all understand with radical that people, place, things, they are not your problem. How the way you respond to them is a problem. So my response system had completely refined. So in like communicating, at times you need series of dialogues. That series gets reduced because now you exactly know what you want to convey. If there is some odd thing happening in life, you will not try and control that odd thing, but you immediately look within and say, okay, where I need to fine tune myself. So the radical, the biggest impact on my own personality was all this while I was understanding that I am a very helpful soul. I help people a lot. People look up to me to solve their problems, or when they are low in their life, they look up to me. I go all out to help people and all that. And but when I practiced radical, I could understand it was not me helping them, it was my need to be needed, and that was creating or that was putting them into trouble so that I can go and help. That one major understanding had changed my thought process completely. And it was like it was a full stop. Then those exchanges were not happening at all. And
Okay.
there was a void created, and that gave me more energy to learn or explore it more. The biggest pattern, what I could find out.
So you were able to let go of your ego, that I'm
Yes,
the one with the
completely.
healing, right?
Completely.
So, what advice would you give to students who want to practice radical as a healing process? Look, as based on what you've just talked, that how should they go about it? I mean, not that we can advise them. Everybody's learning, everybody's journey is their own. But at a macro level, like an umbrella, what shade would you like to provide them to understand that what is it that they need to do as they move forward with radical as a healing process for themselves and for others?
So here, as I said, quantum physics is the base of radical. So I would just share one law of energy, the universal laws. There are 12 major laws, universal laws. I would like to share one over here, that is law of cause and effect. Okay. So anything happen, I would just give a simple example over here, that if you are stuck in a traffic at the signal, you have to reach somewhere too early. Now, the traffic is a cause. Now, either you can get in the under the effect of it, start getting angry, frustrated, blame the government or the people around or their sense or their discipline, or you can use this cause for betterment. When you are stuck in traffic, you can use that time to call few of friends which to whom you are not able to talk. You can play some song on your radio or the tape recorder what you have in the car, and utilize that time productively for your own good, for your own entertainment. So we always have a choice whether to get under the effect of something or make it as a cause and get evolved further,
Right.
make it as your benefit. Now
Right.
radical, when you practice radical helps you to become aware of that cause, how you are getting under that effect, and it also teaches you the technique to get over it and not letting you fall again in that loop. So, and this is just an example of traffic signal. This keeps on happening everywhere in life, right? In
Right.
professional front, personal front, everywhere. So
Right.
this is one thing, yes.
Excellent. But yeah, at the same time, for everyone, not only just students, for anyone listening in, the moment we realize and moment we understand and appreciate with awareness that, okay, this is a time that I can utilize constructively for something else. Yeah. So why not? Maybe it's that phone call you needed to make just to your own parents, which you haven't done maybe for 3, 4 days. Maybe it's talking to a long lost friend. Maybe it's playing a game with your child in the car, because at home everybody has routines and you are not able to go out there and spend that extra time with your child. So, yes, thanks, Deepa, for that, because it's important for us to understand that alternatives are always present around us and in the universe. Anjali Desai says, perfect, Deepa ma'am. So, and that's true, perfect, Deepa ma'am. You said it well.
So
So, yeah,
here, like all radical practitioners, so I would like to say, when we say I the brilliance behind whatever. So brilliance is not, brilliance is this, yeah, there's some beauty in everything. Find it out and get over it.
absolutely, absolutely. Now, tell me, now we have radical practitioners here, students here. What advice you can give to them as to how can we, all of us, spread more awareness about radical, and what benefits can a third person expect by learning radical? That means the students also incorporate in their lives to tell others that what is it, how can you spread the awareness of radical around? What can they do?
First and foremost, your own aura, because it has happened with me. People come and ask me, what do you do? How come you are always so happy? Right? So the first change will start from within, that you have to create, you have to practice radical so much that people around you are automatically going to attract towards you and they are going to ask you. Now, this is the easiest way to create awareness that, okay, something can be done about it. There is some solution. So to spread the awareness, first work on yourself and let people know that how you are leading life. How you can help others? Yes, Aarti, you were asking something?
No, I was about to add over here that we should have the honesty within us, the trust within us, that if somebody asks us, how come you're looking so good, so happy, or etc., there are changes in yourself or your life, we should be having that pride in us to say, it's a very simple technique. It's just called radical.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's how I'm helping myself. I don't have to go to anybody else to heal me. I can do it myself. I can do it to others. I can, make sure that I'm aware about it. So the more we try and incorporate, as you said, as part of our lives, the other person, when he sees the effect and sees that, okay, this is possible, will naturally start getting attracted to it. I think you would agree with me on that one, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. And like they need not to know all about R5 or soul's love. The simple statement you just give them to recite, and whatever is my soul's love. Forget about need, resistance, or reasons. One statement, and that gives some spark within the immediate shift in the energy, and that a fraction of second का भी जो happiness होता है ना, that is going to get them back to you for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
You talked of shifts just now. You mentioned shifts. Let me ask you, what shifts have you felt or undergone as a result of practicing radical? Give me some practical examples.
So, for example, as I said, my biggest pattern was need to be needed. That I obviously, this term I got to know after getting into radical. But there are so many aspects attached to it. The fear of rejection, the fear of being judged, my need to be, seeking attention. All these were the hidden aspect of need to be needed. They were woven with each other. Now, how practically my life was, for example, if somebody is, some new person has come in the building, I would be the first one to approach. Kuch chahiye, please count on me, please let me know. And every time passing by, I'll keep on asking, kuch chahiye, kuch chahiye. Matlab, even if the person is able to maintain or manage the problem on their own, I would go, no, you let it be, I'm doing it. Okay, the simplest thing. And then, oh, you're so nice. Those words, hits you, makes you feel good that, okay, I'm the one who is important. Now, all that used to happen subconsciously, which I got to know after getting into radical, okay, what my subconscious was playing game all that while. And by doing this, I used to push myself. Even if I don't have time to please others, I will push myself. At times, I will put my own family aside and go and please others around. Just to have all these things that सामने वाला reject कर ही नहीं सकता because I am so good. I'll project myself as so good. Now, right. I can consider that as my dark side. People may think that as a positive. But radical is all about knowing your own truth. The thing what we considered as our biggest strength could be your defense mechanism. Somewhere you are so shakeable, somewhere you are so vulnerable to protect that you are behaving like that and you're considering that as your strength. So that realization had shifted my approach towards all completely. It's not that I don't help today people, but only when they need it. I don't create that need.
Right.
So that I consider as the biggest shift.
Yeah, so there's a sense of detachment that one learns because that helps you not to be away from attachment. And that attachment could be being friendly with neighbors, talking or helping out people when needed, not jumping into anything, without being asked. It's not about being asked. You sense it where you are needed to be or where you need to just step back a little bit. So, yeah, that is great. So this comes all with the radical package. But now I want to know,
Yeah.
now I want to know, what is the real Deepa like? What does she like? What does she dislike? Khana pina, things to do, pastimes, hobbies. What does she like to do?
Deepa is actually very bubbly, chubbly, robust girl who would want to do anything and everything in life and just enjoy. But the roles what I was playing had somewhere taken over and that bubbliness had gone in between. But now, as Rati rightly said, that being attached in a detached manner, that has imbibed in me so much that I've got myself back. That, as a mother of two big boys, one is 19, one is 17, I can still go and dance. I can still go and enjoy. I can still, on the road, I can comment, I can make loose comment on somebody, I can do whatever I want because now I'm not bothered about anybody judging me or rejecting me. I be myself all the time. Hobby
So
alike.
you're living your truth and just being the real you, right?
Exactly.
And that is what we learn. And that is such a comfortable space to be. And mind you, people, let me tell you one thing about Deepa. She is one of the best uh, travel guide that you can have in Hyderabad. If you want to know where to buy what, where to eat the best food, where to visit apart from the standard, historical places, etc. She's the one, and she does it all with a smile. I have troubled her like anything when I visited Ahmedabad, and she went out of her way, not because, okay, here's ma'am or a senior person or nothing, chilled, and we had such a grand time. So, yes, I can believe it when she says that she can go out on the street and dance. That's the Deepa I know too. Yeah. So, last but not the least, Deepa, what about your family? Are they equally happy with radical in your lives? Do they practice too?
I won't say they practice radical as it is the way we all do, but in our family, there is a habit of, sharing everything what you do.
Right.
So all the concepts, the radical philosophy, everything my family knows thoroughly. One word manifestation and what are you projecting, what are you attracting? These are the words we commonly use. So even if my son does something, I would simply say, "तुम ये क्या कर रहे हो, क्या नहीं कर रहे हो?" I hope what type of energy you are creating for yourself. Or I hope you know that what you are attracting. And the same statement, they will understand what mama is telling. So those dialogues, those tu main arguments doesn't happen. So that way.
And they're at peace. They're perfectly okay with it. Yeah.
The awareness comes faster.
Right.
Yeah.
So here it is, Deepa giving you a frank, open heart conversation about how to deal with your lives with radical, with the family, being yourself, trusting yourself, honoring yourself, and at the same time making sure that what you learn and what you imbibe from radical becomes a part of you, that you're able to embrace it, accept it, and live with full awareness coupled with detachment. Right? So, absolutely. Thank you so much, Deepa. It has been wonderful. And I am the happiest having you as my first guest. Right?
Thank you so much.
Now I'm going to leave the floor open for people if they have any questions or any curious questions that they would like to ask you. So I see the hand of Navina raised. Yes, Navina.
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much, Deepa. I think it was itself a huge learning. So my question is like, even practicing radical many a times, I fall back into the trap, the same old pattern. And somewhere we get also trapped and lost in between. So how, it's not I don't get demotivated, but again, for certain time I feel, oh my God, again I felt. And so how to bounce back, although I do recite statement when I get the awareness, but do fall into the trap of the dramas. So I'm sure in your journey also at times you may have fallen back into the pattern, the same old pattern.
That's what. With radical, we are not fixing anything. Dramas are going to
Okay.
happen. As you rightly
Right.
said, how soon you are bouncing back, that is the art of radical. Otherwise, dramas, as per your
Right.
karmas, it's going to happen. As I said, the
Yeah.
astrology and everything I have learned, your planets
Right.
decide the blueprint. People say you can change it, but you cannot. As per that, things are going to happen. But
Right.
also, there's one word called free will. How you are
Mm.
choosing to respond to it is your choice. So even
Right.
if I am undergoing betrayal, but for how long I need to be in that moment of betrayed state, that is my choice. And that's where radical
Right.
or self-healing technique helps you to bounce back faster. So slowly that duration will narrow down and then change
Mm.
will still happen, but you will maintain your peace of mind. So you may not use
Yeah.
then the word of trap or loop or something. It is just a drama what you're watching and you're just passing by like that.
Passing by. So yes, I mean, from your sharing, I did get to know so many things to work. As you say, na, they say in radical onion layers. Today, I think from your sharing, I got to know so many layers got,
Many layers.
just hit,
Yeah,
and I need to peel it and work upon. And thank you,
correct.
thank you so much, Deepa and Aarti,
Thank you,
for,
Navina.
hosting
Thank you,
this. It
Navina.
was a pleasure.
Thank you,
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Navina.
Next, we have Shweta. Yes, Shweta.
Good evening, ma'am.
Hi, Shweta.
Hi.
Hello,
Hi.
ma'am. Deepa, ma'am, was saying something regarding sciatica and the ankle pain. Ma'am, even I'm experiencing this at the moment, and it's been nearly 1.5 years. And when you said this, I immediately connected. I said, "Yeah, Eureka! I found how to go about it." So, ma'am, how should I go about it? I'm not actually understanding what's happening to me, why the pain is there, and the ankle pain. So, ma'am, can you please guide me for this?
So it is just like that. I don't know whether are you a radical student?
Yeah, ma'am, I've done 2 levels of radical.
Okay. So if you know the radical up to 2 level, you must be knowing the chakra which are there located at your place. I mean
Yes,
leg.
yes,
Now
yes.
the commonest factor, any pain in the ankle or foot or something that is related to putting your best foot forward. Now when we say best foot forward, it is not always like I have to go and participate in some kind of a jung or lead some area of, or something like that. It is as simple as that. Where am I stuck in life? Something. So in my case, after 12 years of corporate for my kids, I had left my job and my career. Now those 2-3 years were completely, you know, low for me. Though I enjoyed my motherhood, taking care of them, but as an individual, I was lost. I had immense potential in me, which I could use in many different areas other than the corporate. But the mentality was, oh, abhi to bacche, ghar, this is my life and this and that. So I was not pushing myself, pushing my potential. The moment I realized my thought process is blocking me. I didn't go back to corporate and work, but still I opened up. I changed that position and the pain was gone. The stress was gone.
Okay.
So you have to check in your life that where you are stuck.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shweta. Anybody else having any questions? Raise your hand, please. Any kind of question? We've got Deepa today, and it's not easy to catch her. She's like that, butterfly. She just runs away. Anybody else? Okay. So,
Aarti,
yeah,
Navina here again. I just wanted to, share something, just share something which Deepa said, that the need to be needed, like when we tend to learn a modality, it comes so naturally, like going out to help people. And as you rightly pointed, that it's our need to be needed that creates the problem in other people's lives. So it's such a huge, like a eye opener, that just be and flow, and whatever needs to be done, you are just the channel, and whatever needs to happen, it will happen. Why create something from your own need to be satisfied? It made so much of a sense and resonated so much. So thank you so much again for that. I just wanted that it really resonates, and I think when I work upon this, it will help me also. So thanks again. And so many insights that change the response system, change the thing. I mean, we have been hearing, but whenever we hear time and again, it just gets reinforced and helps us to work more on ourselves. How much more needs to be done and flowing with the flow. So thanks again. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much, Navina.
So here we have in the chat compliments for you, Deepa. Bela says, thanks, Deepa ji. Even I'm working on my need to be needed with all the same feelings. And Shweta Mathur says, thank you, Deepa ma'am. Your talk gave us an insight about how to move ahead with everything going on. Okay. So yes, that's thank you, Deepa, Shweta, and
Bela.
Bela for your insights too. And if nobody else has a question, I think we can call it a day. But please, the Circle of Peaceful Progress group will be opened up by Apurva. You must give us a feedback about today's program because, and of course, about our speaker. And so that you see, our aim is to keep bringing you the best which is relevant for you. So if you keep telling us what you like and how it worked out, it'll be important with your feedback so that we can process it better. Yeah. So thank you, Deepa. Thank you so
Thank you
much
so much, everyone. Thank you so
for
much.
a lovely time today. And thank you all for being here. And see you all on Wednesday with our next program. Thank you, Deepa. Thank you
Thank you
very much.
so much.